Alright guys, so Ninja Andrew here in the Watchtower, and today I'm going to be doing a quick little update once again on character progression and sort of stuff you should be having done at this point in the game. Misty and I are both progressing steadily through Tier 4. We're getting our Tier 4 armor. I can show you right here real quickly. Half of my armor, Heart of the Lion. Half of it is not, but it drops out of other stuff that's tier 4-ish, so I'm getting up there. Stats at the moment, this is in my PvE gear. You can see I have also a trinket belt that has 3 slots in it. That's a PvP trinket belt that I got out of the PvP vendor. So it's not as good potentially as a PvE one would be for me, but you can see combat rating 81, PvP combat rating is getting up there too. We'll be doing a PvP episode at some point soon. Vite is now over 1,000. So this essentially means I am comfortable to run pretty much any tier 4 content in the game, and even potentially solo troll. Tier 4 content and below, so pretty much I'm good to go for anything that's like that. So I'll go ahead here and just very quickly, this is in the magic wing, just going up into this room. This is where you buy your tier 4 armor, just for anybody that doesn't know. You probably should know by this point, but we've been steadily replacing our tier 3 and central city gear with tier 4 drops and tier 4 armor. I'm currently buying Heart of the Lion suit. I might also buy the this one at some point, Spirit of the Stag, at some point. We'll see. Maybe before Christmas, hopefully. We'll see. But very quickly, I'm just going to go back out here and just very quickly talk about a few more things that once you're getting up to this stage in the game, you also want to be paying attention to your skill points. You can see here I have a few extras to spend, so I'll go ahead and I'll put those into something now. Basically, I've gone through every weapon and looked for where at the bottom I have vitalization. You can see here these ones don't have vitalization as the bottom skill. This one does. And I've purchased the vitalization and the crit power or dominance that's necessary to get down to it. Just because some people will say, oh, you can skip those and just go pure vite. I feel that leaves you open in a PvP setting, and because I'm such a heavy PvP player, I need to have my dominance, I need to have my cunning, so I throw out the crit power that I should be for my level. It just means that I need to have as many skill points as I have as my CR. It should be roughly matched. You can see I have only 77, my CR is 81, so I do have a little bit of catching up to do, and I'll go over that, how we're going to do that in just a second here. You can see I'm not going to spend, though, for the 6 dominance, because that is a tank skill there to buy. I could potentially buy that later in the game, but there's more important stuff for that amount of dominance. I just need the little bit that they give me for the troller. So I'm also going to go ahead, I'm going to keep looking. I should have purchased already all of the ones that you go down and they have vitalization on them. So every weapon that's like that, I should have the vite and the 3. Just going to make sure that I have all those before I go ahead and spend anything else. So now I've got vitalization here plus dominance, so I wouldn't buy right off the bat. I would actually go dom precision and critical attack damage on this one, but I'm going to wait for pistols. That's a lot to buy down to at the moment. You can see here, I've got vitalization. Once again, no vite down at the bottom. And there we go. So, because I only have 3 more points, it makes more sense to me, stat-wise, to put these into something like critical attack damage or critical attack chance, or might. Even might is good especially for troller characters, or anybody that spams a lot of their powers out in their combo as their main method of doing lots of damage aside from their obvious weapon attacks. I'm going to put these into critical attack damage, because I'm getting just around that stage of the game where I can start buying, because I've bought all of the Vite ones, I can now start getting into purchasing damage skills. So in the long run, this won't hurt me, and if I get some more points, then I might respec them out and put them into something on another weapon. But just because I'm just saving them up and I just want to use them real quick, I'm going to put them there. And that leads me to, so I have 77 skill points. I need to make some more. I'm going to go over really quickly the feat points menu here and just show what exactly is good to work on. So we've got the exploration feats. You can see here, thanks to the exploration feat episode, we've now completed all of the exploration feats, so that's good. That's one you want to make sure you've done. Also, styles. Styles, while you will get feats here for like collecting all the hero faction emblems, those are really easy to purchase now at this stage. I could go and get that feat right now. You just want to roughly go through, see if there's anything that's easy to get, but styles tend to be, because you get the drop so slowly, or you have to get marks for the weapon or for the armor, basically they're going to take a while to get. So you may just want to sort of let them continue to accumulate, and then when you get closer to the end of the game, take a look back and see what you're missing, and then farm for them instead of farming for them at this point. So just check and see what you have, see if there's anything you're close to, but you're going to want to look up online locations for where to get anything that you're missing, and start looking at all of the suits on the watchtower and trying to purchase all of them off as quickly as you can with the marks that you make once you're up at this stage, going up to tier 5. Alerts. You want to make sure that you have completed all alerts in the classic game. You can see Misty and I need to do Striker's Island, but that'll be easy and coming up soon, so that we can get this feat. You just go back in there, and then also completing the 50 alerts, and then also your speed feats. Misty and I have to go back through, now that we have our gear and weapons, it's going to be really easy to go back through, and just the two of us, because we're so highly geared, if we rush it, chances are we'll be able to get the speed feats no problem. So it just makes it easier to wait for them. Till this point, not really worry about them too much at the lower stage. But if you get them, then that's fine, you know. Renown, this is something that I really need to work on. I haven't even reached friendly status with any of the factions. This comes from doing bounties and solo challenge modes. Solo challenge modes, not my favorite thing in the game to do. I much prefer bounties. Once we get into the Central City bounties, we'll have a chance to potentially get some more credit with these, so it'll just be more cost effective at that point. But the only reason we've been waiting to do those is so that we could do them with just Misty and I, taking them on, just the two of us. So it's taken us a little while just to get the armor to do that, but it'll make it easier to do those episodes. And moving along, you've got seasonal. Speaking of which, we have the witching hour and the winter holidays are fast approaching. This is going to be your chance for the Halloween event, the witching hour, to get a Mr. or Mrs. Boo, depending on where you go to look for them. And you've also got the winter holidays, where you'll have your chance to get a snowman trinket as well. I'm sure they're going to be adding new base items. I'm hoping for like a Christmas tree and, you know, some pumpkins or something to put around your lair. But because these only happen once a year, you want to maybe familiarize yourself with the feats that are coming up so that you can make sure that you get credit for all of them. It's about a skill point that you'll get every time that a holiday rolls around. So just take a look through them, make sure that you're getting them, and make sure that, like you can see here, we just got into this at the tail end of it last year, and then we went on to Valentine's Day. So I know I need some St. Patrick's Day. I have the brews, I just need to drink them. They're in my inventory. And the Tides of War, I know I have the collection somewhere, and I didn't knock out enough Mutineers because I was too busy resetting the event, so it is all good. I will get it next year, but things to keep track of. Then also, General. You want to make sure that you get all of your general feats completed. Now, 100 hits on the hit counter, I can go and do that today. And, like, I'm going to go and do that, like, right after I do this, because that's easy. Just go and hit an attack dummy 100 times. Can't believe I haven't done that yet. That's funny. We've also got races. Make sure you've completed all your races. Do your collections, the briefings and investigations. The rest, I know I have to go and complete some of the investigations within instances, just because I haven't completely done all of them yet on the harder difficulties. And you can see here I have quite a few collections to complete. Collections are usually the hardest thing in the game to complete as far as these go, because they're so random. Some of them are really hard to find. So best thing to do is just sort of pick them up as you go, get as many as you can, and then potentially get some money by farming exobits so that you can sell them off and purchase what you need to finish your collections from the auction house. I would say that's probably the quickest way to complete those. You can go and look for them yourselves in the various areas, but just quicker and easier to buy them if you can. Also see here, there's the tokens of merit. This will open up a whole bunch of new feats once I go and insert the first token. I'm just waiting to do that until I've purchased all of the Legends characters, and then I'll start using the marks. Are they marks of legend? What are they called? I'm going to look real quick. Yeah, Mark of Legend. Once I've purchased all of the characters, I will be able to go back there and start putting those in to open that up. And it's essentially, you get feats for every, I want to say 200, 250, like every 250 so tokens that you put in after you put in like the first 50 or 100 or whatever, you get there's more feats that'll unlock. So just something to keep track of. Your solo missions, you want to make sure that you go and complete every single one of these. I still have some challenge modes to go and do. As I say, they're not my favorite, but I will go and make sure I get all of them done soon. You can see we've started doing the daily Toyman missions. We need to complete those. You can see I've barely done any challenges. But you can see here also we need the survival instances. The Penguin and the Hall of Doom, we're going to do those very soon. But you can see here, most of these are completed. I do know I have to go back. Hall of Doom and Penguin are two that I need to complete. And then these are specific feats that we'll go over. We'll do an episode to get this one and the Hall of Doom very soon, but we will get all of these completed as well. PvP, these ones you just want to sort of work on yourself. Legends, arenas, dueling, just go out, challenge people to duels, put on your flag. Doesn't matter if you suck, you're going to get feat points for doing it, which is going to make you stronger, so why not, right? Those will just accumulate as you go, and you can work towards certain ones. I know I need to get more Diamond Heist and Ring Wars for those, but you can see they're slowly getting up there. Raids. There are a lot of extra feats in raids. We've gotten quite a few of them, but there are quite a few more. Sunstone Matrix. Some of these are really difficult, and we would probably need a group who knew what they were doing in order to be able to get some of them. Trying to do them with a pub group is probably not the easiest, so it might be some time before we can get any of these, but they're good to try for if you can find people to help you out with them. I'm going to keep going with duos. You're going to need to complete your duo speed feats. These should start getting easier once you're around tier 4. You can try with a friend or try and find a really high level DPS to rush through them with, and that should help you out to get through them. And you want to try and get all of those done. Like, these are all things that you should be trying to get done by around this point in the game. So it's sort of like Misty and I are looking at these things going, okay, we need to make sure we get some of these before we start going and looking at tier 5, because, like I said, I only have 77 skill points. I should have higher. We need over 100 if we can as soon as possible. So we're going to keep pushing up to get those. You can see here DLC, every DLC has feats attached to them. Most of these we could do. The problem is that because we're filming, certain instances we've gone into, like for the, let's say, Fight for the Light, we've done Owen Science Cells, but we haven't done Ferris Aircraft or Coast City yet. So there's a lot of these like Coast City, that we haven't gone into that instance yet. So we should be able to get those done once we start doing all of the instances, which we'll be filming as soon as we can. So that applies to everything here. There's stuff that we've done, there's stuff we're still waiting to do. Sons of Trigon I haven't even started yet, but like, we have to go back and complete a lot of the Lightning Strike stuff. Like, there's tons. This is where you're going to find like the majority of your extra feats now that need to be worked on. R&D, once again, this one takes time. Takes time to find all the parts for the parts assembly of it. Like, you need gather. Tragic the Gathering. Gather 25,000 times. That means go and pick up 25,000 exobits to get that feat. You'll get all the other ones, but you can tell it'll take a little while. You've also got here ones for crafting and making the colas, so you need to like have every different type of cola, I think, for one of them. You need, like, you're going to have to create, let's say, create 10,000 colas, mods, like anything from plans that you can to get that feat, but it's going to take a little while. I can guarantee it. Like, let's see how many I've created 8 things with this character. Yes. So you can tell I'm so close to the 10,000. Alright, and then base items, you're going to want to collect all of these. They should eventually accumulate. The only reason I don't have a lot is because I've actually been passing a lot of my stuff over to Misty, but that's because it's cooler for her to have a base that's full of stuff, because I don't really like using it all that much. So we're just I'm giving her stuff so that we can complete all of her collections first, and then I'm okay with waiting to complete all of my collections after. So that's why I have so few. But it's going to mean that Misty is going to ultimately have more feat points and be a stronger healer, which is probably more important in the long run than me trying to go for these and taking longer for both of us to get them. So that's just the general. But just as it's an overlook of all of the skill points and feat points that you're going to want to try and accumulate now that you're getting up to this stage in the game. You could potentially continue to progress, but in order to become really strong and be able to handle the role that you're playing as well as you need to be, I would definitely suggest working on all of these. So that should hopefully be, I'm sorry it was so long, but that's a little update on sort of character progression up till this point. One last thing I'll add, I should have mentioned. I've also got the base amenity items, like the supply drop and the sidekick. I would suggest both of those for a controller-powered character. You can see they're both at level 3 right now. I'm working to get enough marks so that I can afford to have the sidekick up to level 4 all the time. You can also get base mods from your base. And actually, here, I'm going to warp to my base really quickly. And alright guys, so we're just in my base here. I'm just going to go really quickly and show the generator. I have purchased all 4 levels of the cells, and so that I could get the 4th level of tactical mod. Now I spent the points to get this last night, and I regret it now, because the tactical mods, they allow you to get the mods out of here for your equipment. I'll just really quickly show. Okay. So there's a bunch of different ones. I'm just going to quickly say, like, okay, looking at these top 4, absorption, that's for tank, blast is for DPS, restorative for healer, replenishing for controller. Those are all weapon mods. Then you get mech mods. It's the same kind of thing. There's a different one for each one. So like the escalating replenishing process here, this one is the one that works for defibrillator, so it's a controller power. I like using those. Weakening field, explosive block is also good. Now you can see down here you've got chest, and then at the bottom hand mods. The chest mod that I put in was the... Is it this one? Nope. Where is it? Enhanced recovery. Blue baubles dropped by defeated enemies now restore 200 power. Now that is good. It does give me power, but because it's only when the enemies are defeated, it's only really good for like low-level mobs. It doesn't really work against a boss or in a PvP setting, so it's not the most useful thing. And then the hand mods, there's an improved stealth one for controller, but then like Mighty Smashing and Power Channeling doesn't work for me. Enduring damage, it requires a damage roll. Regenerative shielding doesn't work for me because I don't have a shield. And then this is a chest mod. So these are the 5 hand mods. There's nothing really there for me. So combine those 2 things. I wasted some points on that last night. So I would say it's not worth it as a troller until the end game to get your tier 4 tactical mods. Doesn't make sense. Maybe on your weapon and stuff, maybe it helps out, but I think it's the bonus is negatable. I think that tier 3 is fine. I'm going to be working to get the sidekick, because you can see here the level 4 sidekick. While this boost is active, the uplink device will summon an elite sidekick to taunt and attack enemies and heal you and replenish your power. So this one replenishes power when you kill enemies. This one replenishes power just when you call on it. So I'm going to work up. I'm going to try to swap this one out. I'm going to not pay for this next time when it expires in 29 days. And I'm going to save up and get the sidekick level 4. And that should be something you should also work towards before you move probably into tier 5 content. Just to be fair to other players, because you want to be able to play your role. You don't want to go in and not have your skill points, not have the stuff that you need in order to progress, and then wonder why nobody wants to play with you. It's like you want to have everything there. So that's why we're making these little episodes, so you guys can see these are all the things you need at this stage in the game. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I'm Ninja Andrew. This has been another epic episode of DorkNinjaGaming, and please join us again next time.